Okay, I'm here with your name? Kuzue. From Poof Dirt Farms and Mike, and he has his bait shop out here, and they are growing pretty much everything you can imagine out here in the desert. They have animals, they have chickens, they have everything out here. So when people tell you can't grow stuff in the desert, that's not true, because we're going to take a tour of their farm in a sec. So why don't you start, either one of you start with why you decided to do this, and what kind of hit you when the pandemic hit.
She's the boss.
Okay.
You go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so when the pandemic hits, there was a shortage of toilet paper, from like that to food, and we're still having a shortage.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the things that we could do is to grow your own food. One is the healthier option.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what you're doing to grow food, and then also you can sustain your own family with what you grow. So that's how I started.
Okay.
And then it's harder to do here. But there's a way to grow in desert.
Yeah, and I know I've mentioned to people that I have like a tiny little miniature garden on the side of my house. And we were talking about this before we shot the video, and everybody's like, you can't grow anything in the desert. Well, I'm going to show you. You can grow pretty much anything in the desert, because they have an amazing homestead out here. Right. And you tell us a little bit about the bait shop and what you do with the
Sure.
other vehicle.
So we own Richard Wiggler's Bait Co. or RW Bait Co. here in Pahrump. It's Southern Nevada's first and only 24/7 live bait delivery service, and it's built into the ecosystem here of our farm. So the aquaponics and the fish emulsion feed the beds of the crops that you see here, and it's built into a permaculture setup that will last as long as we're breathing. And in addition to that, we do a lot of outreach, and we teach people about preparedness and being self-reliant, and the joys that come with that. And we also very recently have advanced into a little bit of overland development as far as building off-road vehicles for a little bit of overlanding, self-reliant, bug out in nature.
Yeah.
Just because A, we hate being bored around here, and B, we like to give people the tools that they need to be themselves more aware, right? Collectively, it is her motto for the farm is planting seeds for a better tomorrow. Mine for the bait shop is each one teach one. So combined, our ethos is planting seeds for a better tomorrow, each one teach one. So if you're in the ability to, you have to give back.
Right. And I like the way that you mentioned that for the building the bug out vehicles and stuff. Yeah. That's something that I know a lot of my subscribers are into, and I tell them, if there's a disaster far away, like 9/11, and you live here, you're not going to go bugging out into the hills. But if your next door neighbor's house is on fire and the fire department's banging on your door at 4 in the morning, it's a good idea to have a way to get away from your house with supplies you need, and he has a vehicle over there too as well. So do you want to give us a quick little tour around here and show us everything you got?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. So here is the front of the house, where I call it the Zen Garden. We have 2 ponds, and I pretty much did a lot of flowers that attract pollinators, like the butterflies and hummingbirds and stuff like that. Right now it's the middle of the summer, so it started to look a little bit
blow up.
But
and you got this little solar pump over there as the pond.
Yeah.
And explain to me again what that pond was.
Yeah. So this pond I dug out. My own.
Wait, you dug it?
I dug it out. Yes, I did.
Hold on. You dug it?
And we got the rocks, and we put rocks together. So they set it up to. I wasn't going to put fish in there, but I thought since my husband owns a bait fish company, so I just decided to throw in there, and then I got a bunch of babies.
Right. Looks good. It does look good.
So what we have is a fry. That's what the little baby fish are called. This is the first spawning of Richard Wiggler Bait Co. fish here. Now, these little fry guys will grow up into little big fish that'll go out and become a striper snack, or, as she likes to say, decorate the pond a little bit.
Very cool. It's a koi pond without koi fish.
Right.
Cool. All right, let's move on.
Welcome to Juicy Fruit Land. This plot, if you can believe it, started out as a monument plot that we were going to use for nothing more than grass. So we fertilized it, we seeded it, we watched the grass grow, sprout, patch out, die.
Yep.
And then we decided to say, you know what? Food forest. And as a result of that, what you see is this.
Yep. This is beautiful out here. You got everything growing over here.
Yes, we have peach vine melon, vine peach melon, something like that. And then we got gourd, birdhouse gourd, the rufa, Armenian peppers, and stuff like that over here.
We grew this. We built this trellis out of 3/4 metal conduit and upcycled fence spikes.
Yep. I actually have a couple of these fence spikes, and been thinking about how I could put up a trellis for our stuff that grows there.
So we just use down low. We use cattle fence so that we can weave the plants in and out. And we try to teach people, man, you get it how you live. That each one teach one means you don't have to spend $1 million to do this.
Right.
You can get what you got and get it in the ground, as we like to say.
Yep.
Throw it in there.
Yep. All right.
Watermelon.
Look at that.
Yeah, this one, I didn't seed them. They one came from last year's seed. So self-seeded and it sprouted. That happened to be the best spot right here for this year.
Yeah, that looks good. That's amazing. That's cool. Look at that. Pear tree in the desert. This was the part I saw from your video when you originally made the video.
Yeah,
this little
last
section
year.
here.
Yeah, this year I grew a different kind of a watermelon. I guess that wasn't very much, fit for this climate. So it's kind of.
So it kind of croaked, but
Yeah.
hey, that's you do it and you learn. That's what I tell people to do a garden every year because you learn. You may not need the food, but you learn. So when you do need the food, you know it grows.
Yeah,
we were telling you
mesquite tree.
Oh wow.
I figured I want to leave it here so it'll give a shade in a few years.
Yep, they will definitely grow up big.
Yeah, and then that's a jujube tree. And this is a nectarine.
Nectarines,
It's
wow.
already, harvested, so there's no fruit here.
Oh, we can't get this close to the giving tree without talking about the giving tree. This tree behind you was dead when we moved in here. And
let me move in a little bit like this.
we actually thought about pruning it back to the point where it was flat, I guess you would say. And over the course of the aquaponics that we were talking about and the remediation of the soil, we'd come in, we amend the soil, we treated it, we started giving it life, and now you can see down to the bottom, this tree is alive. We call it the Gaia tree or the giving tree here because it attracts all the pollinators for our plot.
Yep. Yeah, and it definitely looks healthy. It doesn't look like it was dying to me, so that's pretty good.
And it was one of those parts of our system that helped really give a boost of life to our ecosystem. Because now we have hummingbirds coming to check it out, plenty of bees coming to check it out, and we don't really have to worry about any of the flowers here not getting pollinated, and fruit settles in.
Yep. Very cool.
So here, last year I discovered this area right here is a lot of poof dirt, so you get really, really muddy. So I figure, why don't I grow plants that likes muddy area? So this is sugar cane.
Oh,
People
wow.
don't believe it, but it grows.
Yep,
And
amazing.
then taro root.
And I see you got some kind of melon out there.
Yeah.
Down in the...
That's one hanging out there.
Just one lonely melon.
Yeah. One out there.
But this is the real deal. I mean, they're actually out here doing it and doing it right in the poof dirt. I've even been guilty of putting the raised beds in. You guys are growing right in the dirt right here.
There's time and place for that, but we like to do a lot of direct sow with our
that's awesome.
things like that.
This is a melon that it does very well in this climate.
Very cool.
This one is originally from India,
Yeah.
and it tastes like a honeydew and cantaloupe mix. So that's that.
Look at the vibrance on this tomato.
Look at that. Wow.
This one
That
is
is
called
amazing.
blueberry.
From the tower that we built here.
Yep.
That's all lumber.
Yep.
You see the purple spade, right? Pennies on the dollar at your local box hardware store. Don't need it to be structurally rigid.
No.
All you need it to do is hold some tomato vines.
And at the
then
price
you
of
get some stuff like that.
at the price of lumber today, that's probably worth about 10 grand.
Don't lowball me. I know what I've got.
All right, let's move on to the next section.
This one is tobacco.
Tobacco, cool. I could not get tobacco leaves to grow out here. Somebody sent me seeds, I could not do it. All right, so we're at another section here. Go ahead and tell us about Death Rose.
Welcome to Death Rose. Some of the hottest plants that we have on our farm, not fit for kid consumption. So we build, here in a second I'll show you Black Unicorn Fab, but here we build competition smokers out of my love for meat and putting stuff in the ground competition style, right? So we make our own signature dry rubs in that here. And these peppers all are fuel for that. We had over, I don't know, 35 varieties over the winter. We had them in seeds, grew them into the indoor greenhouse, got them hardened off, brought them out here, and what happens, y'all? Oh, that's right. Heat spike, humidity spike, moisture, anything and everything. So death rows are dead rows, with the exception of a couple of these awesome pepper plants we have in the back.
Cool.
And then we have a row of tobacco on the side here to give them kind of shade. And that's another plant that is new to our farm, year one of the 5-year plan on that side. Remember, up front, that's 5-year, we're 3.5. Right here where you're looking, starting in the beginning from year one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, and this side over here, the roots out from under.
Yes. So, you want to tell them about the raised beds?
Yeah, so the raised bed, we tried so many different ways of growing food, especially the root veggies. But because of the ground can be really very, very hard if you don't amend it correctly. So I had him cut the polydrums in half and just went ahead and amended the soil and then put sweet potatoes in it. It's doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And I see you guys got lots of corn back there.
Right.
Yeah,
My corn croaked this year.
This is the redemption.
It started to grow.
Yes.
And then I started to get little bits of corn, you know, like stalks, and then it just, nothing. It stopped right there.
Yeah. See, with...
And the plant looked dead itself. It looked like it was dying from the bottom up.
Really?
Yeah.
So one of the things we talk about is we talk about the importance of amending the soil and drain out. This back plot here of this entire stretch, we added this plot last year, I think. That was the first year in there. And then in the second, you average about 2, maybe 3 seasons before it starts to really like build out.
Ah, okay.
But what we'd like to do is kind of expedite that. And we were telling you earlier about there's a time and place for things like the raised beds.
Right.
These you can find locally, $5-10, right? And you can really control what goes in and comes out for like your root veggies and things. Like we swear by putting our potatoes in them, our carrots will be in them, asparagus is in them. All of these veggies that have to have loose pack, we live by those, and they're cheap.
Yeah, cool.
Inexpensive, as the frugal say.
Yeah.
Is a tomato
area,
and then I built this tower because last year when we had it, it was so tall. It was taller than my husband, so I thought it was gonna go. But this time of the season, it looks almost dead.
Yeah.
But it'll come back as the temperature
Yeah, they
goes
do.
down.
As it goes down, and I
Like
notice that in the fall, they do come back. That's usually when I get. That's usually when I go out and I'm like, why are my tomatoes dying? And I look really close, and you can hardly tell. But on one of the green limbs is a green worm that's enormous, and it's eating the plant. So you have to kill those off. Yep.
Our chickens love them.
So I just wait for them to come back, and then that would be the time that we'll have a massive harvest.
And over here is the pharmacy.
Yes. This one, this is where I started.
This is the inaugural plot. It started as a
Original.
16 by 16.
Wow.
So I got all kinds of herbs.
Herbs and everything growing back there.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Those rosemary are first generation here. Those
I
are
have
some of the first
rosemary
things we
bushes
planted.
in front of my house.
Yeah.
Big, huge bushes, and they do really, really well. They have to be trimmed back often.
Yes, they do.
All right, cool.
So
Let's
we're
move on to
over
the next
here
part. With the livestock now.
Yes. So my goal is to have milk from my own farm. So I bought goats because the cow, I don't have grass, I don't have pasture, and I can't raise them responsibly. But I can do goats, so I got 4 goats.
Oh, there's one back there too. Look at him.
Yeah, they're old. We rescued
He's
them
looking
from
at us like
Vegas.
he's looking at us like, what are you doing here?
Right?
You don't belong here.
Yeah,
Very
those
cool.
2 big ones, they're with me for a year now.
Yep.
They're still
Wow.
babies, but yeah.
I want some attention.
Yeah, this one's choco and that's latte,
latte.
so chocolate.
Chocolate. That's cute.
And then we got marbles in the back.
Yep.
And then in the back is Blackie.
Oh yeah, I see him
She's
back
hanging
there.
out. Yeah.
They have the most interesting eyes. I've always noticed that about goat eyes. These little
and 180-degree vision. When they go like this,
Really?
they can see all the way behind them. That's why
Wow. Cool. All right, let's move to the chickens now.
Uh-huh.
they do it. Welcome to downtown Cluckshaw.
Bad mother cluckers. All right, we're inside the chicken area now. So tell us about chickens.
Welcome to downtown Cluckshaw. I don't know if you've ever been to downtown LA or Crenshaw. Basically, we took a city block there and made it chicken themed. So, starting down here, you've got the Cochin Express. Welcome to the back, aka Black Unicorn Fab. Now, Richard Wiggler's Bait Co. builds stuff. Black Unicorn Fab is the metal shop behind the stuff that we build here. We specialize in a lot of off-grid mods. We do a lot of overland conversions for the truck you see behind me.
Yep,
And then
that's
this
that
one here,
truck
we're
back
doing
there.
overland swaps.
And that
for,
one there.
A bunch of documentary guys. But this is my latest. When you get bored and you have a need and you can weld, products happen. So this is the fish tank. There's a little sneak peek for you. The Fish Tank LTE by Richard Wiggler's Bait Co. 1,300 pound weight capacity, made out of recycled poly drums and or steel drums, depending on how you set it up. It's equipped with a mud motor out back that allows it to float in 6 inches of water.
That's the motor there.
It fits between the wheel wells in your truck, so you and a buddy can pull it out of the truck and put it on the water. We're building a custom cart for it. Stay tuned. More on that as we go.
Very cool. Yeah, I assume the drums go on the bottom here, right?
Yes, they go here
They'll
on
bolt
the side.
in where you. Oh, okay.
You see these nuts?
Oh, I see now. Now I see why
They
you
go
built
on the
it
side.
so high too.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, so we're at the last section here on the farm, and you
Yeah.
can tell us all about it.
Yeah, this is called a produce department. And then this is the sacrificial land. That's what we called it. But now what we're doing is we're getting ready for the winter crop as well. So some stuff is empty, so it's ready for me to seed stuff like that in
Right.
the beginning of August. So right now what we're growing in the summer crops, so we got the zucchini going on, and the watermelon, the kajari melon, and pumpkin back there. We try the sweet corn, knowing that it doesn't go well. I just
do
wanted to confirm it doesn't.
Like, see all that dead stuff out there? We knew it was going to die.
Beans a fail, but a try. And we encourage people to throw crap in the ground to know what works.
That's what I tell people. Fail is first attempt in learning.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
That looks really, really good. I'll just show everybody. And folks, if you're getting the audio distorted a little bit, it's really windy, and every time we hit record, we get wind. But at least you got to see it and see what this is all about.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's
then
pretty
we have
awesome.
Fruit trees.
Fruit section over here,
Yeah.
fruit trees, and a little owl habitat there. That little thing there where they fly in, and I was telling them I have an owl that visits me once a year. That's about it. Cool. All right. Well, we can wrap up on your porch there.
Sure.
Okay, so you've seen the farm here. You've seen the fab shop in back, and what he's working on back there. We're gonna try and do another video on that one. I like that boat. That is cool, and definitely very, very cool to see what can be done with a little bit of work out here in the desert.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to somebody if they were thinking about starting a homestead similar to this, somewhere where maybe something traditionally wouldn't grow?
Just try it. You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh, this doesn't grow, that doesn't grow," but you won't know until you do it on your own and then
Right.
study about it. And when you study, make sure you're studying about the right climate.
Right.
You know, people
Know your zone.
read and then watch the YouTube that it's a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they're trying to mimic that. It doesn't work.
Yep.
You know, so trying to see what your zone is and then what works in your climate.
Yeah.
That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I definitely like what you've done. That's really, really cool. We'll have to do some more videos.
Sure.
He was interested in doing a battery box, building his own
Yes.
battery boxes and 50 caliber ammo cans. I'm sure my subscribers are like, "Oh God, don't get those two together. They're gonna build battery boxes for days."
Awesome. I'm so excited. because
Awesome. Cool.
When you find people, that's the other thing. Make it a community, okay? Because a really big mountain is daunting, right? When you're looking at it from the bottom. But when you got people that give you the perspective to help you get up there, seek community everywhere you go. Farmers, homesteaders, it's a community. Preppers, it's a guide, it's a life, it's a lifestyle,
Yep.
right? So the more you surround yourself with people who don't think you're crazy for wanting to start a compost bin in your apartment, the more you surround yourself with those people, right, the more comfortable you will be in your own skin, and ultimately the more ready you and everyone you love will be should you ever need to be.
Right, right. All right, I just want to thank you guys a lot for showing us around here.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
I'm
coming out.
really
You're always
impressed.
welcome.
And as always, folks, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check our links down below for anything that we had down there.
Yeah.
And as always, stay safe and stay prepared.